Hey everyone, I'm Alexia Maria Oriwala, reporting for Hollywood Connections inside of Tan Talk Radio, where we wrapped up our show, and we're here with
Drigo.
All right, so Drigo is a talented musician. He does a lot of songwriting. He is a musical engineer, audio engineer. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, I pretty much work with any client, so for the most part I deal with a lot of rappers, but I also do with a lot of death metal bands and just pretty much any kind of band, anybody that wants to record any music or write any music or wants me to write anything for their short time movie or anything like that, so that's pretty much what I do.
So when did you realize that you wanted to be a musician and help other people out with their music?
It was around the age of 10. I started playing drums, and then from there it was like, oh, cool, well, I can play drums, but I don't have any music. So I started playing guitar, started playing bass, and then I got into piano, and then finally it's like, well, I can play all these different instruments. I'm going to put them all together. So then I got into recording, and then from there that kind of became my baby. So I've just been doing that, and, you know, the music kind of helps when you're in the recording field because then everybody, you know, kind of feels a little bit more comfortable with you, so.
So what is your job with the audio engineer? Like, what do you help with? Do you help with the making it sound better and putting it all together, making one big song, or how does that work for people?
Well, the process is generally pretty simple, but there's a lot of variables that really go into it. From the beginning idea all the way to setting up your microphones, making sure that you get everything right at the source, and then really recording it into either tape or into like a multi-track recorder, but yeah, like Pro Tools or something. And then from there, that would go to what's called a mixing engineer, which he then takes all the different tracks and he makes them all sound really good, make sure that everything's in phase, make sure that the highlighted parts of the song really come out. And then it goes into the mastering phase, which you really pretty much, including all metadata that you may want. So, you know, whenever you have your song pop on iTunes, you know, the nice little name and the album name and the song and everything's going to pop up, and really just boosting the level so that way it's commercial with everything else as well.
So how did you learn all that? Did you go to school for that? I know you said that you're self-taught a lot of the instruments, but what about the audio engineering? You go for school?
Yeah, I actually did go to school, and I did a couple of apprenticeships. I worked for KDS Studios, I worked for Fat Planet Studios, and I went to Full Sail. I didn't actually finish there, but I actually finished up at KDS. They had a little program where I actually worked with some pretty big people, and they taught me everything from how to deal with the client to making sure you get the nice mixture of tea and honey. So everything from there pretty much was taught on the job.
Wow. And what would you say your most favorite thing about music is?
Mixing. I really like to mix. I like to take people's tracks and make them come to life, because really whenever you get the raw tracks and you put them in your DAW, let it be Pro Tools or whatever, and you give that first listen, it's almost like, cool, well, I'm planning what I'm going to do, and as you go through it, it may take 12 hours, it may take 2 days, it may take 3 days, or it may just be as quick as a 15-20 minute mix, but at the end of the day, just really listening to the before and after is really just super rewarding. And when you give it to the client, you see their faces and they're all like shining and, you know, super inspired to perform the song. That really, you know, pays me off more than just the money. So.
Right. And what would you say, would it, being an audio engineer, would it be a plus for someone like yourself who's in a band? Would that help a lot with, you know, having to save the time to find someone that you would trust to put the music in their hands? Does that help you a lot and give you like a plus for recording with bands?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, being a musician, especially in the studio environment, when people come in, it's really hard to really direct a drummer if you're not a drummer yourself. So whenever, you know, the drummer comes in and he's like, oh, I'm pretty nervous, I don't really know, you know, I've never been in the studio, you say, chill out, just bang on the drums, make sure they're tuned, and then you're good to go. So it's really just about, it tends to be more about making sure that the talent is comfortable, making sure that they have everything that they need, more so than, you know, making sure the specs are right, because that's kind of your job. You're not really expecting that from them. Right. It's not like the old days where like everybody kind of had a job, like you can press this button, you're going to press this button, I'm going to go over here. So it's really just about getting the best performance, getting the best take, and then from there it's kind of like your job. So
what advice would you give to someone who's coming in new to recording? What kind of tips and tricks can you give to them to kind of get comfortable and realize that it's not that scary thing, that it's just recording music? What advice can you give to them?
Definitely, number one, practice. You don't go in the studio if you don't practice. Number two, make sure you know your lines. And then number three, be passionate, because especially with the singers, if you know, you're doubtful in the microphone, everybody else is going to hear it, and it's something that you really just can't take out. You know, you can't edit that out. So that's probably the three main things that I would say.
So we were talking before, and I know that you're interested in doing movie and everything. So what would you see yourself doing?
Well, I really just want to get into doing scores, writing original music for movies or short stories or anything like that. I really want to get some more of that work other than just bands. I really like both of them, but really the scoring is really what I'm trying to shoot for.
Wonderful. And before we leave, can you give out some information so anyone can check out some of your work, some of your music, and if they want to contact you to, to help them with their music?
Yeah, you can go to my website. It's pretty much the best spot is www.iamdrigosteel, or you can look me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can just type in I Am Drigo Steel and you'll find me there.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we're happy to have you here. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for more.